Hey guys, today we are winterizing my water harvesting system in preparation for the minus 40-degree winters we experience here in this part of Canada. I have 3 sources that bring water into these 1250 gallon collection tanks. Here's a quick recap of those sources. First off, I collect rainwater from this roof using this ugly piece of weeping tile. I'll simply remove that and allow any future rain to spill onto the ground. Secondly, since we have such a low water table here, I collect groundwater from beneath the foundation of my home. And lastly, I have an underground 2-inch pipe that runs along the house here, and that channels the rainwater from the backside of my house into a sump basin where I can pump it into my tanks. I'm going to pull a plastic bag through that pipe to get the majority of that water out. Let's get started with that part of the project first. So down here at this end, if I have some water going through the system, I'm going to drop this piece of string in and let it go right into the pipe there and hope that it goes all the way through, and I'll take it out to the other end and then be able to use that to pull the bag all the way through. So let's check to see if the string has come through on this side, and yes, there it is. Alright, so let's shut the water off and get some bags pulled through there. So again, the goal here is for the bag to act like a syringe and allow me to pull the majority of the water out of the pipe. Stuff it in there. Okay, and then I'll go down to the other end and pull the string through, and that should clean out my line. So it seems to be loose enough to pull through. Here comes all the water with it, just as planned. Pump just kicked in. Pretty easy to pull through too, so that's a good sign. So there we go, it's stuck because I'm at the end. Alright, so there you have that. So while I'm here, I'm going to turn the pump on and drain out as much water as I can. And to do that, I'm just going to lift the float. That should bring us down to pretty much done. Okay, let's get this out of here. So what I'm going to use here to keep water from going into here again is this cap. And this cap is just basically a screw-on 2-inch pipe. And that just goes on like that. So the next step is to get this little bit of water out of here. So I am going to drill a little hole into here so that any water that happens to come by over the course of the winter has somewhere to go so it doesn't build up in here. And in the summertime, this will also work in my favor to allow the water to very slowly drain out over a few hours, preventing it from becoming stagnant and becoming a breeding ground for mosquitoes. And next I'm going to put the mini basin's grate into a bag to help prevent any water from entering and also to keep bugs and dirt out over the next 5 to 6 months. Okay, so that's in place. And then the final thing to do is put down my downspout so then no water will be running down into that area. So that should do it. The only other thing to do on this side is put the cover back on. I'll check on this a couple of times throughout the winter to make sure there's not a lot of buildup of water. And off camera here, I grab a couple of bags, I ball them up and stuff them into those holes to keep stuff like rodents and snow out. So the second line that goes into this tank is the line from my sump pump. Now again, that sump pump is under the foundation of my home to collect groundwater. I'll leave the pump on, plugged in, all winter long, but obviously not for collecting groundwater because that's all dried up by now in the fall. But it's for in case there's a flood inside of my home from a supply line burst or an appliance failure. The pump will collect that water and discharge it to outside. Another source of water is from the downspout. So all I need to do with this is simply remove this piece of weeping tile, and I'm just going to place it in between here so that it does run out over the winter and doesn't contribute to any more water in these tanks, because they're going to have these emptied pretty soon. I don't know what I was thinking here, but that weeping tile is awfully long. I'll be cutting that off in the spring. It was easier to put the line, that weeping tile, on that side rather than this side because the way it's naturally bent. So that concludes my video on cleaning up all of the sources to these water tanks for the season. I'll be emptying out these water tanks in another video if you would like to watch that, or if you want to see what else I'm up to, you can subscribe to my channel. Okay, thanks for watching.